Hello, Billy the Artist here, back with another how to draw video. This time we're doing Slytherin's Crest. We have already done the Hogwarts full crest with Draco Dormian, Nunquam Titilandus, never tickle a sleeping dragon. That's quite funny. We've done Godric Gryffindor's shield, and now we're going to do Slytherin in the Harry Potter series. Do please like and subscribe, and we'll be kept up to date with all of the Harry Potter and my other how to draw videos and the stuff that I do for my job, which is mainly the motorcycle art. Anyway, do check that out. We have, like I say, we've got these two done already. We're going to do the others. There was, just before them, we had Dobby. Isn't he great? So do check out that one. He's in the playlist. We also have Harry, Ron and Hermione. So do check out those videos. They're all accessible in the Harry Potter playlist. There's some from Fantastic Beasts as well, and I will be getting to more of them, but I'm doing these because these are kind of nice and easy, and then you can do colouring in, but it's showing the basic techniques exactly the same, using the same grid on these as I do on the portraits. So hopefully you can see the easier techniques and then we can enjoy them. But here is the blank piece of paper. It's A4. The dimensions underneath are where the grid lines go are at the bottom of the screen, and that's how you can mark your paper up. So do sort that out. And again, A4 is 210 across the top, 297 millimeters down the side, and that's just the kind of paper that I use. But anyway, we are going to crack on with doing Slippery Slytherin, Salazar Slytherin. So now, again, if you check out how to draw anything, the basics, it's just using shapes. So here I am straight away, I'm going to just draw a parallelogram, not a rectangle, but in there I show you how I just drew boxes, cylinders, cones, and so there you got a parallelogram. It's just using a simple basic shape. And here we've got a diamond, which is up at the top. Now, again, we've got the word Slytherin that comes right the way across, and I'm going to do a curve over, and you're using the guidelines as your points of reference. Coming out of this side of this parallelogram, you've just got a triangle where that, and you make sure that it flows with the top of the banner, the kind of banner part of the Slytherin. Now again, you've got, it comes right out to the edge here, and mirrored on this side is the edge of the Slytherin banner where the name is on this side of the crest. Now again, we need to do the bottom part, and it's going to go through where the snake is, but you can kind of see on here it's just below the kind of halfway point. So just follow the curve and follow the line at the top. Now you could draw a box and put it inside, but you've got the guidelines that are helping you, and this kind of makes it a little bit easier. So there we've got the edge of the Slytherin name banner. Now just to the right of this, coming down, we've got a long rectangle. So I'm going to do that all the way down. So there's a rectangle, and I'm going to put another one just inside for the twisted kind of emblem. It's a bit like Celtic patterns, but it's all just twisted pattern in there. So now we've got this V that comes down on this side. So I'm going to do the same. It's just over on the inside of, that's on the outside, on the inside of this guideline. So if we come down again, we've got a long rectangle, and match that there, and then we've got the twist as a long rectangle inside, and then the bottom point of the shield of Slytherin is about there. So now we can just draw a line up to the edge, and you can see how it goes above, just above that corner point where those two guidelines meet. So if you match that there, that creates your bottom part of the shield on the left hand side, and then we're going to do the same on the right hand side. And these are just construction lines. Now again, my guidelines and my construction lines are quite dark. You can draw them lighter. Again, the V that goes up is just above, you can see there, that corner point. And you're using the guidelines, as I say, as dot to dots. And that's just how it makes it work very, very simply. Now, we want to do the same at the top. So here, where the shield comes out at the top, you can imagine that line goes up and then comes off at an angle. So it's got to kind of match up with the edge of the shield there. And that's going to go up at a slight angle, and then you can just bring a straight line over. It is going to be curved a little bit, but we can do that in a moment when we actually put the actual outline in. So again, follow the line up, and where it comes out at the top, you can imagine it just curves behind the back. And so you want that nice, just little angle coming up, and then the same thing there. Now you want a straight line going out, but again it'll be just slightly curved when we actually draw the part of the Slytherin shield in with the felt tip pen. Now, simple curve over the top, which is the kind of castle top. I think birds are walking over the roof again. So if you do hear birds tweeting, it's because the window's open. It's very, very warm. And it's been quite cold. We had a frost this morning, but the sun is shining. And because my studio is in the loft, I get quite warm. And it's over 22 degrees, even though it was freezing earlier today. So outside, it's probably only about 10 degrees. But inside here, it's pretty warm because the sun is beating down. And birds are tweeting in the trees and are nesting. So there we've got the little lines that come down, and either side you've got two little U's but square, so imagine little boxes, and the same on this side, just to the side to mirror those, and that will make the castle top on the top of the shield. Now we've got the inner part of the shield before we actually tackle the words of the letters of Slytherin, and before we tackle the snake as well. So what we're going to do is there's a diamond shape here, so this makes the bottom part of the diamond, and you can see how it's kind of just below the halfway point. It's not, so there's about halfway in that section created by the guidelines, and so we need to kind of just come down a bit, but it also is underneath this guideline here. So I'm going to draw that line in up there and do the same, and you can see it's mirrored on this side. So that point in there is about 90 degrees, a rectangle, and you've got all of these lines that are in the same, and we can put those in that will make up the cross pattern, the checkerboard pattern that's inside the Slytherin logo. So here we've got mirrored again, same but up at the top going up, and that's going to come down there. So you're talking about a centimetre up from the centre line. Again, rectangle, so we'll go up, and we're not too concerned about Slytherin's snake. And the same here on this side, we want the centre. We can't actually see the centre points, but we can just indicate where those lines go. And we want to, so you imagine that's going to go up and join that point there. And the same on this side, we want another triangle which matches, starts directly opposite that one. So you can put a mark, and then you can just imagine bringing that down, and it's creating, you can see there, you've got an X. So you could draw your lines over to create the X completely, and that way they're going to match up. So I need to just move that one up a little bit. So that one was a little bit low, you can see. So now it's straighter and more connected. And so we've got an X inside Slytherin's shield. Now, for the snake, it is just an S for Slytherin. Now, just draw big curves. Now you could put rectangles in, but it's just easier because it's such a nice circular shape to do the circles. So we'll actually start with his tail at this end. So you can see how it's just past the halfway point and the top is just underneath the center guideline, horizontal one. And so I'm just going to draw a big circle, but his tail is going to go off, so we want a little bit of like a shark's fin at the top, and then we can bring that curve down inside that outer line, and that joins underneath, and then his tail will come down, and you can see how if you draw that circle around, so imagine that's just a nice tear drop kind of circle coming round, and then we can reduce that a little bit, and you've got the back end of Slytherin's tail, and already you've got the shape coming together, and when we put the outline on, that'll really draw that out. But there's lots, like I say, we've got lots of these little scales to actually put on, but they're just little V's, and you'll see they'll come on. We don't have to do the pencil lines, because once you start you'll just be filling it in very, very quickly, and we're not going for a slavish copy, but you'll see how close you can get when your main outline shape is correct and down right. So what I'm going to do now is, you can see inside this triangle at the bottom, we've got Slytherin, the snake, underneath. So I'm going to just put in a couple of little marks to make you a kind of dot to dot. So now, just to the right of that circle line at the bottom there, where it curves round, you've got his tail coming off. Now over here you can imagine just above the point, so you've got the centre point there, we're going to put a point, that's where it curves and comes around underneath, and then we'll curve around underneath here. So again, we've got about a centimetre above there, and down on that bottom part, and we've got the edge there. So now inside here we want another mark, and you're going to do a dot to dot, and above that centre line we've got the top part of the Slytherin snake, and then that's going to come down kind of just above halfway through that edge of that triangle there. So we've just got these little marks. Again, we need, that's about halfway. We just made these little dots, and you've made a dot to dot coming round, and you're just going to do a circle shape. So I'm going to follow that down, and then that curve. So imagine that's the front of a D. So that was the back of a C, the bottom part of a C, capital C, coming round, and then you've got a big part of a D, or the bottom part of a B. So it's just a nice simple curved shape. And that centre line, you can see, makes the D there, the capital D. And if you follow this around now, do the outer line. Again, I'm drawing this on quite dark so you can see it, and then we're going to go over with a felt tip pen. And now connect that one up. There you can see you've got the bottom of the S of Slytherin. And so I'm going to curve that out a little bit. But you see how now we've got that second line on, and we can put the lines on. That'll be the underbelly of Slytherin. the Slytherin snake. So again here we can just follow that line coming right the way round, and that'll have the kind of bally lines that you can see there. So now we're going to do the same at the top inside the banner. We've got about halfway inside that grid square, just past the kind of halfway point, and again just put a little mark there and another one there just above, so you're just looking for the spacing. So here we've got a capital C, and we just curve it round and join the point on the body there. And again the same, if we do the C coming down, and you can see how you've got a little bit of that triangle showing underneath the Slytherin banner. So we can bring that down and round and join on the snake. And we can bring out to the curve to the edge where you've got the triangle on the back of the shield. Again the same thing there, we can see a little bit of that triangle showing, and there you can see you've got your S very, very simply just by following those guidelines and putting marker points down. And you can do quite complex curve shapes by doing that. That's how simple it is. I hope that's made a lot of sense, and you can build it up. Now we're going to do the snake's head. So here we've got a triangle, and I've got another triangle, so you can see the bottom of his mouth is there. So I've got, and that's the inside of his mouth, and then another triangle is going to be the bottom part of his jaw coming, and then we've got the little wiggle for his tongue, and then there's a couple of fangs which are just bent V's really that are sloped down. And now, because I've got those little construction lines in, I'm going to go over, so you've got a curve where his eye is, curve for his far eye, and then the top lip kind of comes round over and joins where his fang is. Now his mouth comes halfway, you've got the 2 points on the edge of his neck, and it's halfway there, and you've got a little curve that comes up, and then it curves again and goes over the lip and over that edge fang. Now we can bring a nice curve down to where his foot tongue is, follow that construction line of that triangle, and then you can really bring the curve down of the outer triangle right the way down to the tip of his chin. Now you've got the inside of his mouth, it's just a nice simple V. So I'm just going to draw in the fangs a little bit darker, and you can see then you've got a nice sharp V, and just curve it coming down to the edge of his mouth. Now his eye, it's just like a leaf shape, and then you can put his eye in. So there, oh, I've got sun streaming across. That's the sunlight peering in. Like I said, I try and block off, so I just use studio light all the time, but it is so bright out there. I've got to have my window open, otherwise I would be baking a lot. Now I've just dealt with the light a little bit, so hopefully, we might get blinded again in a minute because it is very bright, but we've managed to get the S down using those little reference points, making your own dot to dot. So now what we can do is we can just add in some other construction lines. There you can see you've got an X, nice and simply, a diamond, another little diamond, then from this point we can bring that line down, and you can see that's going to follow all the way down here. So that those lines are going to kind of go all the way down. You've got an X there, and that's obviously going to carry on and come out down at the bottom. And then we've got 2 more here. 1, 2, and then we've got one that's going to kind of follow this line down, and that it does go just past. Yeah, so I just need to increase that line a bit so as I don't mess that up. And so that's going to go all the way to there, and then we've got another line that goes up, and then we've got the final one there, and then we've got 2 diamonds in those diamonds, and then another one on the inside of that, and the same in the bottom. Now here we've got, these are kind of like curvy diamonds really, so like a 4-pointed star really. And the same, we've got another one here. You just nice simple curvy little diamond shape. So there you got the lines going out rather than straight lines. And you can make the edges a little bit curvier with the pen when we get back to that in a moment. And off the edge of the snake we've got that one there, and then another little diamond pointing off, and then we've got a full one showing here which is mirrored opposite that one. Now we can finish off down the bottom. We've got the X down here, and then we want that line to match up and go across there, and we've got 2 diamonds, little ones. We've got those lines making the diamond pattern, 2 little diamonds down there, top of one there, and then we've got that final line going up just above that centre guideline. Now we do the same on this side. You can see making the squares up. We've got another little V, but that goes up and comes up to where that tail is, and then that one there, and we've got the edges of these little diamonds that are going to be next to the side of the crest. Same there. Then up at the top we've got these larger curvy 4-pointed star type diamonds. Like I say, there's one underneath the chin here of our Slytherin snake. And they are all done. So now that's the inside of the crest pretty much complete. Now we're going to fill in the letters. Now again, because I use shapes, you don't have to start at the beginning on the S and then work your way across. And I'm left-handed, so it doesn't matter. You're doing a drawing, you're using shapes. So think of it like that. Now again, when I did the Gryffindor, you can put yourself a guideline in. Like when you had handwriting exercises, if you ever did them in school, or whether you use a tablet or computer now all the time, I don't know. But we didn't. So if you imagine that's the bottom line, and then you can see there's the top of the H, and we can imagine the tops. So they're the top of the N. And we're just doing that curve going around. And there's the top of the Y, and there's the L. So we can use those guidelines for where the tops and the bottoms of the letters are. And I'm going to start in the middle here, because we've got the edge of the H And so you've got the line that's going to be the serif, and the edge of the H goes up to the side of the centre line, and then we've got the same there. So you've got a bit of a rectangle, but it's just got a slight slope on the top. Now if we do a rectangle here, that's pretty straight in line with the vertical of the centre line. So, and we can then just do another little rectangle. Now the E, even though it's all curved, we can just simply do a nice oval shape coming all the way around, and then you can put the side in, a little rectangle, and then you got a little triangle, and then we can add on that when we, but you just started with an oval shape. When we actually put the ink line down, we can build that up a little bit bigger. Now the R is, if we just do a rectangle there and a little rectangle going up there and then a little square coming down, that'll give us the R. The I comes off the centre line, and we've just got, not the centre line, this guideline on the right hand side. So there we've got a simple rectangle for the I, and then a diamond that starts on the guideline above it. Now the N, again, I'm just going to do a nice simple rectangle, and then another one to the edge, and then I'm just going to curve over the top. But we'll fill all of that lot in a moment. Now the T, we've got a rectangle coming through, which is the crossbar, and you can do a little triangle going up, and then coming down we've got a nice rectangle that we can join onto the triangle above, and then another little very thin rectangle, which is the kick of the T going up. Now I'm going to do the L next, which is just very simply a rectangle. Now the Y, we've got a nice simple V, two rectangles creating the V inside, and then another one coming off down the side that comes underneath. But we're going to do the outside a little bit more, so it's thinner at the top and then just increases out. So you've got a little bit of a rectangle and a triangle, and then the serif's going to come off down that way. Now again, the S that's up in the top up in here, just like this S, you could do it creating points, but I'm going to do this one just following the guideline points. So there's the kind of serif, and there's a kind of rectangle going across, another little rectangle. Here you can see you've got what looks like a little E curving around. So I'm just going to simply draw a big E that comes round and comes back into the parallelogram. Now you imagine, just follow that curve up and you've got a D shape again like we did down here. And if you match that on the inside and then follow your E, you can see how it comes round, and just join that up. You're using the guidelines that you've already put down to actually build up the image, and then we can put the extra lines on when we build that up in a moment as well with the felt tip pen. So there we've got the Slytherin letters in very, very quickly. But now we've got all the embellishments in the outside of the shield to just put in, and again, dead simple shapes, really, really simple. So following the line that you've already got, we've got a triangle that comes down above the E and the R. So there's the line, just put a slight curve on it, and there's a triangle, and you've got a bit of a rectangle there. So this is a bit like bunting around the tents out in the field or the Quidditch pitch. So again, here we've got a line coming up to the top, and we're just going to bring the line down and join it above there. So you just got to think of shapes and lines nice and simply, and that V is going to come down above that E there, and then we've just got two nice simple lines going up to the bottom of that triangle. Now again, this is mirrored now on this side, so coming up to the Slytherin point, you're going to have a line going up, creating that triangle, but just curve it a little bit. Now again, from here we can have a line going up to the top, matching that side, and then just bring the line down to join at the corner of the parallelogram that works on the S of the Slytherin. Again, follow the lines, make them nice and simple. And you can see behind we've got a thick black line, and we can just put the little lines underneath, and then that just kicks out at the top above those points. A couple of little triangles. Now again, we've got this going all the way around, but just think nice simple shapes. So here on this inside one, where we've got this parallelogram, it's a bit like a diamond, and you'll see. So I'm drawing the line down to the centre line. On the other side, from where you've got the guideline, I'm drawing a line down a little bit, and then just going to join them up, and there you've got a diamond shape, and there'll be two lines inside, so I'll just put them in now with that. But you'll see much better with the felt tip pen. Now coming up behind the Slytherin banner at the top, we're just going to put that box there and increase that line. Now again, here right at the bottom, coming through the guideline, we've got a triangle, just a slightly curved triangle, and that comes all the way up to opposite the top of, or the centre of this triangle here, the diamond that you've got in the shield. And again, follow the curve for that line, and that's now made the bottom part of the shape for this one at the top. So imagine it's curved around, and we're just going to bring that line out, down and across. Now following that up, and now you can see you've got another triangle, so you could just draw a diamond shape, sorry, not a triangle, to make that work for you very quickly. Now coming down inside this edge of the banner, we've got a triangle coming off this one, and that kind of comes down to about there. So there's that one. Now we've got a diamond coming over, so we want to bring that top up and make the rest of it, there's your diamond. And then right to the bottom we've got a little kind of V shape there. I'm just going to rub that out a little bit because I want to fill that a little bit more. But you can see you've got the black line inside. That's, oh, it was right. Yeah, that'll do. Anyway, so there's your little triangle back, fill in the black line underneath, and the same going there. And we'll put the extra lines in a moment. So here we've got a little diamond. I'm just going to do them as diamonds now, and then we'll fill in the rest after. And we've got another diamond, and then this one's not a diamond because it kind of kicks off there. So what we're going to do instead is from here we're going to do, so you've got a little V that kind of comes round, and then you can imagine you've just got this curvy coming up to match underneath the bottom part of the curve of the bottom of the snake, and you can join those together. Now from here we can bring that down, you've got a straight line up and then a little curve, and then you've got the full curve going right the way up to there, and it goes right through that corner point. So now here again we've got a diamond that's going to match to nearly the top of that point of the leg. So leg is snake. So we've got the line coming down, and we're just going to curve and connect on that. Going to like a parallel, a bent diamond shape. Again, the same here. We want curve coming down and touching, line going up. So you've got a bit of a V there, and then we can just draw the line right the way up and the curve to touch, and then we can do the bend of the shape of the fabric banner going around. Now that's all of it in, and we can add all the other details in as we go along with the felt tip pen. And this is going to be the quick stuff, and we're going to start at the top and work our way round. So there's the centre line of that point at the top, and you've got a diamond shape, and we can fill in, it's all black on that side. Now you've got some little kind of V tooth marks dotted around, so you can put these in first, and that way you won't kind of overdraw them. And I'm going to follow the line to where that point is, kick the point up right at the corner, join that V. Now inside the banner we've got a line coming down, and we can follow that flow up, and then you've got that little black V at the top, and then don't touch the edge but just curve that round to where it joins, and then we can add that end part in and two lines inside. Now a bit lighter, we can put those two lines inside the streamer banner. Follow that line down, and then we've got two lines inside the streamer banner again. Fill in the black. Now above the Slytherin, above the Y, we've got a little V. I'm just going to put these in and above the N, and then we can really use the curve of your hand all the way over the top of the Slytherin nameplate banner. I'm going to bring that down. You've got a couple of little woggles, so you know, wiggle your pen as you're going along. A couple of little dinky V's there, and that's coming right the way out. And the reason you can do that, now again, because you're going to have black there, you can go right the way through. Follow the S, you can follow right the way up to the point, just kick it out a little bit, and the little dinks and wiggles make it look rustic. Now coming right out to the edge, now that's not a fluid line, you can see it's just a little bit wiggly, so we can just do that nicely. And the same, we can just pull that point and then come down, and you've got a little wiggle bit going out to the bottom. Now above the snake, I'm just put that inverted V. I'm curving that, there's another little one, I'll just do that as we go, right the way over. You can see how it's already starting to really lift off, but it's only because you've done the hard work of laying all your construction lines down. So now I'm going to curve that down to join that V, and then the same out to the kick at the corner, down a little wiggle inside there. Now we want the castle top. So I've done the edges, I'm going to connect the bottom, and then as I come across the top, I'm following the teeth shapes and not drawing the full line in. Now inside you've got those parts, and then we've got 2 little squares of dark that we can fill in. And you can see that's really bringing the top together completely. Now, I'm just following the lines down for the banner in the outer decoration part, and I've put these lines on already, which means it's easier to follow. I can fill that bit in, fill the black in there, the curve going out to the edge of the streamer, the banner as it's flowing, little black part of the V, I can fill all of that part in. Now we've got 2 lines coming down, and then we've got one that's just kind of joining up, and then we've got the 2 going over to the top, and that's the top part really looking good. So now we need to just carry on. I'm going to do all around the outside edge. It's kind of woggling down, and like down here we've got a little chink in the edge of the shield, just kicks out at the edge there. Bend that down, little kink going up, come down about halfway, just past halfway you've got a little inverted V right to the point at the bottom. Again, curve up, little bit of a dink in there, go up to where the guideline is, another little bit of a dink. Again, you can put those in beforehand like I did at the top, right to the corner, and that just kicks out and comes back in. Or you can do it as you go along, another little knock in there, up past the guideline, another little knock, right up to the top. Now we're going to do the inside line. It's just to the right of the guideline here. So we're going to come down, little knock, all the way down to where your pencil line is on the corner. Now as we come down, little knock in the middle, all the way to the V at the bottom. Again, the same little knock there, go up past, again all the way up here. We can connect those lines. That's the edge of your Slytherin shield. You can see how it's really lifting up now because you've got a dark line all the way around. So now I'm going to follow these lines and just do them a little bit more organic, not solid, a little bit curved. And I'm following the lines all the way that you've put down. Covering the shapes that you've already made. And this is the streamer going all the way around, and you can see how quickly you can actually fill this in. And that's how you can do it. So you can follow that line all the way around. You've got that curve, the underneath of the streamer there, and go up, curve, follow the curve to the top, right to that corner. Then you've got the banner going round. Then that goes to that top. I'm going to follow that curve down. Now this one, we follow the edge. Now behind it all we've got those black filled in parts that really make the edge of the banner. You've got a little triangle of black there for the corner. You can fill that bit in. There's a little bit there. There's a little bit of filled in there. Right to the bottom. You can fill that bit in. You've got all of that triangle. Then make that a bit bigger, and you got that corner, and then there, and this is filling in the edges before we put those little construction lines. So inside the banner now you've got two little lines there, two going up, you've got two going there, two again into this little corner bit, two following down there, and then you've got two at the bottom. This is just making this streamer banner more decorative. And you can be as detailed as you want, or be quick and fast and fluid and enjoy it. And again, this will just build up your techniques. So there we've got the edge of the banner all the way round. Just need to fill that little bit in because I missed it, and that's completed that. Now we're going to very quickly, and again don't go over your snake, but we're very quickly and lightly going to fill in these details in the background behind Salazar Slytherin's S on the shield. Remember, you've got that X that you'd put in, and so that fills in these lines nice and quickly. And then we're going to do the snake, and then we're going to do Slytherin. And I'm doing it this way, so when the time lapse goes up it'll look quite cool, because I'm going to start with the snake's head and work my way around. But because you've got the guidelines that you've already put down, you can actually fill these in nice and quickly. Little triangle, triangle, diamond inside. It's very therapeutic. Doing this kind of drawing is fantastic, and I really enjoy doing these for you because it's just so much fun to encourage you with your drawing. Oh, missed a little woggly line in there. Two little diamonds here. Now we've got these curvy diamonds. You've got the filled in black on one side, and you've just got these little flourished ticks off, and it just makes them very pretty. And again, crests and guilds and coat of arms are all very, very beautiful, and the history of heraldry is amazing. And I do think that is fantastic what J.K. Rowling did with Harry Potter by bringing all of that together in Hogwarts. So schoolhouses when you're at school were very important, but doing that in Hogwarts and having all the heraldry is absolutely fantastic. So I'm just bringing that tick down. So there we've got all the background in. Oh, in the middle of the snake's tail there's a little diamond there in the centre. So now we're going to start with Salazar Slytherin's snake's head. So there's his eye, and we've got a little curve over the top, a far eye, and then the curve going round for his mouth, little V for the far fang, then the second one. Now there's the edge of his mouth, coming down to his forked tongue. Then you've got inside of his mouth, down to his forked tongue. Now we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 little lines inside of his mouth. I'm just lightly using the point. And then we've got the bottom of his jaw coming round, quite thickly, but then you've got these little lines underneath, and then you've got two little lines there and one for each cheek line on the edge. Now I'm just going to follow the curve that I created in pencil all the way round, because it's just a giant S now. Now my elbow is not resting. I've just followed that all the way round in one swooping go. If you do it little lines, it'll look a bit scribbly and a bit scratchy. I'm going to do the outside S. Now my hand is just touching the paper, but my elbow is not, and my arm is pivoting at my shoulder, and that's what you need to do. Practice on a separate piece of paper doing long curve lines like this, and your wrist, your elbow and your arm will all work together to allow you to do it in one giant curve like that. And there you've got the S of the snake of Slytherin. So now from the point, I'm going to do a small one, follow that curve up, and again the inside around there. So now I'm going to follow the curve down for what his belly is, and then his belly, that curve follows there again. Now just some nice simple lines, follow the shape and the curve as it kind of comes round, and there are his tummy lines. Now we've got all of these scales to do, and they're just like diamond points. But what you can see, if we just do a V there, and then you got another V going down, and then above we've got another little V, and that's all they are. If you just think on them as V's, that's how you'll build them up, and it just becomes very, very simple. But follow the flow coming round. So again, I've got another V there, another V, another V. Oh, here we've got curving round like his underbelly part that we've just done with those two bits. Now again, we can just build up now with lots of V's. Now you can copy exactly, or just do V's going round, because you're getting an impression of the scales rather than copying exactly what's on the drawing in front of you. So now you can see these scales are coming down and around, and again just follow the form and shape of the snake as they curve around. So here you can see we're going to have more, and there's about 3 as it goes across. And they're just nice and curved scales. And you can do the same for a dragon or a lizard. And you can just work off the points of each one. So there's 2 there. And I'm just kind of looking at the reference and just making it up as you go along, but you can see straight away that that looks lovely like the scales on the snake that you're drawing. Again, I'm just following it and making sure that they follow the curve around, rather than, because if you don't follow the curve of the body of the snake, it won't look organic as it's supposed to. So So there's some more scales. And you can make them a little bit smaller on the inside curve and a little bit wider on the outside curve, and that's how you can follow the body and make it look okay as you come right the way around the body towards the end of his tail. So here they're bigger on this side than they are on the inside, and it just, so imagine you've got lines going out. You could actually put construction lines down, creating a kind of fan effect. But you should just be able to do these little shapes as you're going to make it look as organic as you possibly can. So now we want the scales to curve again as we're coming round. And I'm always doing the V's in the way, following all the way from the head right the way down. Now this should look really good on the time lapse. The scale should go on very, very quickly, almost as if it's been done by magic and not by Muggle. So here we've got the last few scales coming up to his tail point. Just little V's. And there we have Slytherin's snake fully drawn in. Now, I'm just going to go back around the outline again, just to make it a bit thicker. And you can see that just makes it stand out a little bit more, giving it a second line. Just thickening it up that little bit. Just gives it that little bit extra definition. And that's what you can do. You can just increase the thickness of the outer line and it'll make it stand out a little bit more. So there you go, that's looking pretty good. And now all we have is the letters. Now I'm going to start with the N at this side. There you've got a serif, that's just a little kind of curved kink. I'm going to curve over and come down the edge of the N. And so in the time lapse this will appear backwards, but it will look pretty good because you can, if I start from the S, it will obscure the letters as I go because I'm left-handed. So there you can see I'm just using the guidelines to fill in. Little bit of a slope, not a square end. There's a little woggle for the serif at the bottom. Then we want to just fill in that triangle. Now the R, again, just underneath the top of the guideline, you got that slope. I'm going to bring that down a little bit. Then you got the serif curves like that. You got little dents on the edge, and then the top of the R comes off. It's got a bit of a serif going under. Now the E, remember we did that oval all the way around the outside, and that's going to curve around, come up, then you've got the horizontal line through the E, fill the edge, and that comes down, and then a bit like a leaf inside there. Now the R, again, go up and just curve it over like you did with the N. Bring it down, serif curves a lot on that one. And we can fill in the curve, the top, again sloped, coming down, the serif on the inside is above the outside, And then the T, we can bring that down, curve the kick up. You've got a little notch in there, bring that all the way up. Now the crossbar comes out and that creates the point, and you can draw that up. And then we can fill that bit in. Now we have the Y, you've got a little bit of a serif. The serif on this one above goes higher, and then we can just fill the curves in inside the construction lines of the little rectangles that you put in of that V at the top. Bring that all the way down, and then the serif really curves out away, and then we can fill in, there's a little kink there up to the bottom part of the Y, and there's your Y of Slytherin. Now we've got the L, again nice little bent curvy serif at the bottom, line at the top, slight diagonal coming down, chunk missing out at the side. Now we've got the nice S, so big chunky serif end on there, and again we're going to follow the curve all the way round. You've already got your construction lines, and I've followed that all the way round. Now I'm going to go back, following the shape, fatter there as it goes up, thin at the top, and then back. And so now I'm going to just double up that, and you can see there's a couple little teeth chocks on there. Again, just widen that because you've got a little knock on that edge piece. Same at the outer edge there, make that a little bit fatter. And then you can fill the lot in of the S. And my pen is just starting to give up. I can just see as I'm laying that black down inside that it's starting to fail, but it's done a good few drawings. Now what we have is these little marks inside and little dots inside the serif, and we've got a kind of shadow line that comes down. It's like a drop shadow underneath the S. Same underneath there, underneath the top, and then that goes down at the bottom. And then we just got some dots. That go around, and we've got some 1, 2, 3 lines off there, 2 dots underneath. There's another little line at the bottom and a couple of dots. A couple of dots there. There's a few dots at the top, so that's all filled in. Then we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 little lines. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm going to make some a little bit fatter on the edge. And then we've got the lines. Again, we're going to use the curve of our hands now. And so that goes above the eye, breaks up, and then it carries on over towards the H. Doesn't matter if you break it. Over to the top. And then you've got a second one. And that goes over, and then over from the T to the L. That joins on the end, and then there's a third one inside. 1, 2, and you got 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Then down this side you've got 3 little points there. Then when that kicks in, you got 1, 2, another 2 underneath, and then you got 1 that comes underneath the N, and then that goes a little bit further in, and then you got this one that goes all the way across, and then 1 that comes off the edge of the snake. Then we got some little dots in as well, that we can fill in, and you can just add some wherever you want really, but there's 3 in there, 1 above the R, 1 in between there, a couple up from the eye, and just some other dots, and you can put on as many as you want. But that is the Slytherin crest completely done. Again, my construction lines underneath and my guidelines I put on quite dark, so I'm rubbing out quite hard here so that you can see. So there the X behind the snake has appeared, nice and white and crisp, and all the guidelines inside, that diamond at the top, inside the S on the top, coming down the edge. Like I say, I've got to rub out very strongly to get rid of these lines, but I do them as dark as I do so that you can see everything and build your drawing up. So when you do it, you don't have to do the construction lines as dark as I do. But that, I hope you will enjoy, is the Slytherin logo. Anyway, I've really enjoyed that. It is Hufflepuff next. Thank you very much. Do like and subscribe to be kept up to date with my how to draw videos, and enjoy your drawing. Tell your friends about the Harry Potter playlist and all the other how to draw videos as well. But thank you so much. I've really enjoyed that. Take care, enjoy your drawing, see you next time. Ta-da.